Alright, so since PvP is pretty toxic and there's not much I can do about that, I thought why not make a video on a couple of units that I personally am excited for to come to Grand Cross in the future. Now, it could be like next week that one of these units drop, or it could be in a couple months, but regardless, these are just a few units that I'm excited for to come to the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys there's only 5 of them, but these 5 are really good, and one of them is Droll, like you see on the screen. Droll is amazing. Green Droll completely cucks Goddess Elizabeth because he has a skill that is legit meant for just completely stopping her. So he has an AoE disables buff and debuff skills card, which is really good, considering Goddess Elizabeth's shield is considered a buff, right? So you can cancel out her shield right then and there, which is amazing. Then you also have this. This isn't like the craziest, but Detonate can be very powerful if you use it against someone obviously with a lot of ult gauge. And the fact that he has a passive that restricts the user, that restricts the enemy from, using ultimate move gauge is actually pretty crazy. So if they get their ultimate, they cannot use their ultimate move, which is kind of crazy. So they're legit they're legit stuck at 5, and you can use his Detonate card to do some massive damage, which is like wow, which is really good because it combos very well, especially since Red Zeldris is basically Droll's best friend. So since Red Zell also has disables recovery, you can combine that if they try and cleanse the buff, right, or debuff, right, and you can just completely cuck them with Red Zell. So that's really good. So it's just very good kit. I like it. I like how it combos into each other well. I like how it meshes. His ultimate also is powerful too. Inflicts charge damage to all enemies. You guys already know charge is a very powerful effect because it ignores all defense. So very strong right there. And then his commandment, it just applies a resistance buff by 30% for 3 turns. And this is for both allies and enemies because you guys know how commandments work. So every time you basically take damage, you get a resistance buff of 30% for 3 turns. You can only get 3 of these, but that's 90% extra resistance. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, that is very crazy. But yeah, man, he's one of the units that I actually cannot wait to come out to the game. I really hope he comes out sooner than later because Goddess Elizabeth is taking over PvP right now. So once he drops, we won't see a lot of Goddess Elizabeths, but Droll will be very good. So yeah, let's go ahead and go on to the next unit. So if you have been living under a rock, I don't know how you haven't heard of Green Easton in Grand Cross, because she is legit one of the best characters in the game. She's crazy, man. Like, she is very good. They use her in PvP a lot, and I mean a lot. So one of her skills has weak point on it, and you guys know how powerful that is. 3 times, damage. Yeah, well, she can self-proc that first off because she has this second skill, which disables recovery skills, prevents ultimate move gauge from filling up, and then on rank 3, it decreases attack by 20% for 3 turns. So once she does this, usually rank 2 and 3, you'll see it more often because they run her alongside Galther. Once she uses her debuff skill, it's pretty much game over because you can't recover, you can't fill up your ult gauge, and if they get a rank 3, your attack is decreased by 20%. Then she can legit nuke into you with this skill. This skill is very crazy because you guys already know, if you guys know Monspeed, right? Monspeed has a very good partner with Keo right now, and he does crazy damage. She basically does the same exact thing because of this weak point. It's crazy. It's legit crazy. I've seen her like take down people with 1 hit with this. Like, it's just craziness. And then you guys already know her ultimate, spike damage. Blue Easton has that as well. That is very powerful, but the thing is, it must crit to really like be crazy, if you guys get what I'm saying, right? It has a crit, so if it doesn't crit, it's not gonna do too much damage, but once it crits, it's game over, because all of them take massive damage because spike, right? So very, very good, very good. And then her passive is this right here: increases all allies pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage by 5% per debuff on enemies, limit of 8 times. So again, she can self-proc this passive because of her skill 2, and then since the skill 2 is an AoE debuff, you're basically set for the entire game. I don't know what they were thinking with some of these characters. Like, it's wow, it's legit madness, because she came out and she stopped Goddess Elizabeth like crazy, more than Droll. She like completely like cucked her. You couldn't do anything. But yeah, man, she's good. She's good, and I can't wait for her to come out. There's a chance she could come out before the end of the year, although I don't think she will. I honestly think she'll come out next year sometime, but if she does drop before the end of the year, I definitely will be summoning on her banner. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next character. Okay, so Ledocio is like, I like Ledocio, like what I've seen from him. I'm very, very excited for him to drop. The problem is, he unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, is a unit that needs to have higher CC than the enemies. Now, you guys know how Green Fraudrin works, right? Green Fraudrin has to have higher CC. Like, he's legit useless if he doesn't have the highest CC. But Ledocio can be used even without like having the high CC. It's just he is very powerful once he has his passive, right? So Ledocio, right? He has this card. It's very strong. 600% damage at rank 3. You know, it's a very strong move. It doesn't have any effect on it. It's just a straight up like damaging card. And then he has this. So this is a rupture card, and he dominates Goddess Elizabeth as well, because Goddess Elizabeth's shield is weak to rupture, right? The only thing it's weak to is rupture. So once you use this, completely gets rid of her shield no matter what, right? And then he has this damaging card. When you combo both of these into each other, the damage output that Ledocio does is like astronomical. Like, it's actually insane. So if you build him up, you get him 6/6, and then, you know, get his cosmetics and equipment or whatever you gotta do, he is a very powerful nuking unit in my opinion, right? So very powerful. Again, the only downside is that you need to like invest heavily in this character, but I will say he's gonna have a lot more relevancy than Fraudrin ever will, because Ledocio is just very strong and like a good unit. Plus, he has a grace. So we're gonna get into his ultimate, but his grace is very powerful. So gains evasion to petrification, freeze, and stun effects for 2 turns at the start of the battle. That's good. That is good. So he cannot be like stopped, because he can't be petrified, freeze, or stunned for 2 turns. Very good. And then his passive is again, enemies who have lower CC have their defense related stats reduced by 40% for 3 turns. So very good. And then his ultimate inflicts damage equal to 350% attack of all enemies. So basically it's an AoE. And then he creates a barrier equal to 20% of the damage dealt. Just crazy. So again, once he gets 6/6, he does crazy damage on his ultimate, and then he makes a barrier equal to 20% of the damage dealt. Very good. Although most of the times he's literally beating them before he even gets his ultimate. So keep that in mind. But if the fight drags on and he gets the ultimate, it's game over for the enemy. They have no chance. Like, they legit have no chance. But yeah, so he's a very powerful unit, and I can't wait for him to come out. But let's go ahead and get into the next unit. All right, so the next, these last 2 units, these are personally becoming my favorite units to watch, and I can't wait to use them, because I may or may not save up until I get enough to summon on their banner when they drop, because they are very powerful. Yeah, so Yeah, Tarmiel. Okay, we'll just you guys know Tarmiel. He's very, very good. He is actually insane. So his first skill is, you know, a ult depletion move, like Green Merlin, Red Zeldris, etc., right? So then he has his second skill. Okay, bear with me. This is still worded very weirdly. So until we get the global translation of the skill, it's gonna be worded very weirdly. But I think the Grand Cross database did a fantastic job translating this very, very well. So basically, he assumes a stance for 1 turn, right? Which reduces the final damage taken by 40% when an ally is attacked, and takes 40% of the reduced damage. So again, I'm assuming this is like, he's just, okay, it's worded weirdly, I don't know, so I'm assuming he just takes the final damage of an attack, right? And then he takes 35% of the reduced again, I'm not even gonna try right here. I don't know, it's worded very weirdly. But it is very good. It's a very good skill. If you guys haven't watched videos, I highly suggest you guys watch a couple videos on Tarmiel, because he is very good. Some say he's better than Sario, but I don't know. I don't know. And his ultimate is actually insane as well. So it's inflicts damage equal to 420% of defense on all enemies, and then he heals HP of all allies equal to 30% of the damage dealt. So basically it's like Ledocio, but instead of attack, it's defense, right? And then he heals HP of all allies equal to 30% of the damage dealt. So very, very strong, very good. And then his passive decreases all enemies max HP by 200% of the hero's defense. So he is definitely a triple defense set user, like just hands down. 200% max, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then Grace of the Ocean. When the hero takes damage on enemy's turn, recovers HP equal to 150% of defense at the start of ally's turn. He's very good. He's very, very good. And like, he's defensive juggernaut. Like, he is a defensive tank juggernaut. Like, he is very hard to kill. He is very, very hard to kill. But yeah, I'm excited for him. But let's go into the final character. You guys already know who I'm excited for the final character. It's no surprise. It really is no surprise. Yo, I love Zarya. I'm sorry for whoever doesn't like Zarya. I literally love Zarya. He is personally my favorite archangel of the 4, right? I really like his design. I think his cockiness combined with his just not carefree attitude just makes him a very, very unique character in the series. But in the game, he is crazy. Like, he is actually crazy. You guys know I stand Zeldris on this channel. You guys already know that. But yo, we might become a Zarya channel, because the more I watch Zarya, it's like the more I just want to use him, man. I really just want to use him because he's that good. Like, in my personal opinion, he's that good. When he dropped, I did not expect him to make him this strong, by the way. I didn't. So you guys see his stats right there. His overall stats are, yeah, they're very, very good. They're very, very good. Legit, the only thing he's not good against is the Gray Demon. Like, that's it. That's the only thing he's not good against in this game. So yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so all right. So his first skill is an AoE crit chance card, and it's basically what Hauser has, right? You know, Hauser, his second skill. This is like 10,000 times better than Hauser's skill, because of the fact that this unit right here focuses on crit damage, and he just focuses mainly on crit damage, and he does a lot with his passive and his grace. So we'll get into that, right? But they did buff Sever, so now it's 3 times crit chance. And off rip, literally base stats, level 1, he has a 40% crit chance. 3 times that is 120%, so he's basically going to be critting nonstop. Like there's like maybe a rare chance he won't crit, but 120% chance to crit at a level 1 base is out of this world. I don't know like what they were thinking with that's crazy. That's crazy. I can't believe they actually buffed Sever too. That's another thing that's crazy. But yeah, very, very strong move right here, man. Very, very strong. It legit takes out entire teams. It one-shots entire teams. That's how powerful this skill is. It's like, why? Like, yo, he's insane. And then his skill 2 probably is even stronger than that. He has Power Strike, which is a new like attack effect that they added to the game. And it does additional damage based on enemies' resistance. So if the enemy is like sporting like, let's say 80% resistance, he's adding 80% resistance on top of the damage multiplier he already has. And then topple onto the fact that he's gonna crit, because his hits are like, he does like 8 to 10 hits. No, there's no reason they should have made him this strong, but I am glad they did, yo. I really am, because he is crazy. And then his ultimate, again, Sever, you're never not gonna see him crit. Basically 630% off rip, and then 945% at 6 out of 6. Craziness. And then his passive increases the basic stats of goddess allies by 20% of the hero's basic stats. So he's increasing his own like stats even further upon his, his stats are already good already, and then he's increasing it by 20% of his own stats, which is beyond me why they made him this good, yo. And then his grace, if a critical strike occurs, which is gonna be a majority of the time, actually I think it's gonna be 100% of the time, right? When the hero uses a skill, ignores 50% of the enemy's critical defense. Yeah. Yeah. So this is why it's so powerful. So you take this, which has Sever, you use a rank 2 or rank 3, even a rank 1. He ignores 50% of the crit resistance of the crit defense. My apologies, of the crit defense, which sometimes he's just going crazy. He's going crazy, yo. In this game, Zarya came and literally he just came and said, I'm gonna become one of the best characters in the game for no reason, legit no reason. I'm just gonna be on a regular banner too, and I'm gonna be added to the part 2 tickets and everything. Like he is very, very good. I really think that he might be like, he's either one of the best units, like non-festival units in the game, or he's damn near close, because there's no way Zarya is below number 5 in the game. There's absolutely no way. Again, I don't play JP, so maybe I'm just just hopping on the bandwagon for Zarya, but I don't think he's below number 5 in the game, because man, what he can do is just, no, it should be illegal, man. It should definitely be illegal. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. That's it. These are just 5 of the units that I am personally excited for to come to global, and I can't wait for them to come to global. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. If you guys did enjoy, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content if you're new to the channel. Also, be sure to join our Discord. We'd love to have you. But with that said, I will see you all in the next video.